Main event time, Eubank in Dubai. Here he is in action against the German, Graziano Rocchigiani. Good performances by Eubank back in February of 1994. He won it on points over 12 rounds. And this was another splendid performance by Eubank. This was on the 10th of December, 1994. Tremendous win over Henry Wharton to retain his super middleweight championship of the WBO. Wharton's eye, of course, was closed from round 2 onwards, and it made life very difficult for him. This, of course, was Eubank's last fight against Luis Pereira, and he won it on a 5th round knockout with a good body punch, if you remember rightly. John Corlin, the referee on that occasion. So, we're in Dubai, the Aviation Club to be precise. Lucas Eubank on leg 2 of his Middle Eastern tour. Eubank, of course, remains the most successful world champion Britain has ever produced. I believe that music's called The Flight of the Valkyrie, or Valkyrie, if I remember rightly. Eubank, of course, a former WBO middleweight champion, made 3 defenses of that title before moving up to super middle. So he made 13 defenses before losing the crown to Steve Collins. Also lost, of course, the rematch. Also, Chris Eubank famed for his entrances, but the problem for him on occasion has been the entrance has often been better than the fight. But to be honest, the arena buzzes when Eubank makes an appearance. Already in the ring, of course, the opponent, Juan Camilo Alarcon from Colombia, in the Colombian capital of Bogota. And this is not about him, this is about Chris Eubank. Although Alarcon is ranked number 6 in the world by the WBO, it's ironic that he hasn't fought for 14 months and suddenly appears at number 6 in the rankings. But, you know, that's what these world ranking bodies are all about. They are the oddest bunch of people. So Chris Eubank being preceded to the ring by this group of Arab teenagers. And once again, it looks like the entrance might supersede the action. Eubank has recently been appointed as the man in charge of sporting development in Dubai. And the young lads and lasses will be responding, I would imagine, quite readily to him in his new role. Of course, has had, in my opinion, 5 spectacular nights of glory. The first came when he beat Anthony Logan back in 1989. The second when he beat Dennis Cronin in 3. Nigel Benn, of course, was the zenith of his career. 9th round stoppage in Birmingham in November of 1990. So here comes the man, the tune of Simply the Best by Tina Turner. don't meet many people who are indifferent about Chris Eubank. Neither love him or hate him. And I was there the night he made his British debut against Darren Parker. In fact, I was there for his first 3 fights in Britain. So Chris Eubank then, his customary tune and his familiar entrance. His life and career have been dogged by controversy, but he's risen above it most of the time. Brother, of course, of both Simon and Peter Eubank, 2 boxers also from Brighton, and he's the younger of that trio. Yes, Chris Eubank came along at a time when British boxing desperately needed him. A lot of people think he outstayed his welcome. But importantly, he still thinks he's got something to offer. And when you think that the potential sporting prowess that exists in the Middle East, he could have a good future. Larry O'Connell, the referee.
Ladies and gentlemen, your officials for this contest, in order to are the supervisor, Mr. Simon Block. Your inspectors at ringside, Mr. Les Potts and Mr. Don Bartlett. The timekeeper at the bar is Mr. Bob Edgeworth. And your referee in charge of the action is Mr. Larry O'Connell of Kent in England. His Highness, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, tonight in the fabulous Dubai Tennis Arena, it is time to turn the heat up with the main event of the evening. Promoted by Show Off Promotions in association with your main sponsors, Coca-Cola, who proudly presents an international light heavyweight contest of 10 3-minute rounds between institutions, firstly in the red corner, and fighting out of Gibraltar in Colombia. He is wearing the white shorts. His professional record reads from 15 contests. He has 13 wins with just 2 losses. 9 wins coming by way of knockout. He weighed in at 12 stone 7 pounds. Would you please welcome to Dubai, Camilo Alarcon. And the opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the doldrums and coming from Brighton in England. He brings to the ring a professional record of 48 contests, 44 wins, 2 draws and just 2 defeats. 22 wins coming by knockouts. He weighed in at the limit of 12 stone and 10 pounds. He comes to the ring as the former undefeated WBO middleweight champion and the former WBO super middleweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the boxer known as simply the best, Chris Eubank. Your referee, Mr. Larry O'Connell, will now give instructions to both boxers.
Here we go then, Chris Eubank against Camilo Alarcon. Almost forgot the name of the opponent because he's really incidental to this. Although he's got a number 6 ranking with the WBO as a light heavyweight, and ostensibly if Eubank were to win this one in style, he would overtake that mantle and possibly be in line for a crack at Darius Michalczewski for the WBO heavyweight crown. Of course, assuming that Michalczewski's still got it after Virgil Hill bashes him up. So Eubank aiming for the top. I'm sorry I'm not taken in. As I say, Alarcon hasn't boxed for 14 months. The winner of 13 of his 15 contests, 9 inside the distance. And he's actually been around Alarcon. He's boxed in Belgium and France. And he was the former Caribbean champion. He won it in a round, then lost it to the only named opponent on the record, Steve Little. Eubank, very solid individual, and this light heavyweight division will suit him a lot better than the super middle, although he looked fairly tight. He's still 12-10. Now that's 3 or 4 pounds over the light heavyweight limit. He could probably make it at a push. And he's had 6 memorable nights, Eubank. The last 3 were the one that bout number 2 over Michael Watson. The fight in Berlin against Graziano Rocchigiani. And of course that win over Henry Wharton. Thereafter things went wrong for him. He ran into Steve Collins. Collins of course took off the WBO championship. They had a rematch. 3 fights later, Collins repeated the dose. And I don't personally believe there's any mileage in a rematch with Collins. Nigel Benn's also finished now. And the light heavyweight division is not the most glamorous these days. Roy Jones, of course, flirted with it before getting disqualified. Of course, Montel Griffin, well, he would be, I would imagine, far too much of a handful for Eubank. So it's interesting to ponder where Chris goes from here. Virgil Hill, of course, is WBA and IBF champion. Roy Jones was WBC champion. Of course, that's now Griffin's. Michalczewski, well, he's WBO champion, but for how much longer? James Toney's the WBU cruiserweight champion. Eddie Smulders was the European champion. That now, of course, is Crawford Ashley, and Ashley's been crying out for a match with Chris Eubank. I doubt if that one will come off. Ashley, I'm afraid, a bit too much of a live wire. But for Chris Eubank to be taken seriously by me, he will have to face the Ashleys of this world, people with proven form and a title to match. So at the end of round 1, and really barely a punch thrown in anger there by Eubank. And trainer Ronnie Davis, conspicuous by his absence. So, Camilo Alarcon from Bogota, the Colombian capital. Outside the ropes there, Johnny Griffin, Leicester manager and promoter. Bit of replay. Eubank's record to date reads 44 wins, 2 losses and 2 draws. 1 draw, of course, very disputed in most people's opinions, was very close. And of course, the second fight against Nigel Benn. Yes, there's been plenty of nights when Eubank was considered by most to have been fairly fortunate to have got the nod. But the train kept rolling along. Eubank, of course, had his first 5 professional fights, all 4-rounders in America, in Atlantic City, before coming back under the management of... it's gone right out of my head. Can you believe that? Anyway, he came back to Britain in 1988 and picked up his career. He's gone from strength to strength. And the canvas very loose and lumpy on this ring. Yes, Keith Miles, in fact, was responsible for the emergence of Eubank in Britain. Alarcon, by the way, a professional since 1991. Didn't box at all in 93, had 2 fights in 94, and only 1 in 96. And that's how he's got himself a number 6 ranking with the laughable WBO. And I say laughable, decisions like that, of course, make these organisations laughable. They're not the only ones. And this extra weight really does suit Eubank. At the end then of round 2. Bit of replay then from that second round. Eubank there throwing a lovely left hand, just missing slightly. So there they are then. Into round 3 then of this international light heavyweight contest. Chris Eubank in the gold trunks. Hardly surprising in action here against Camilo Alarcon from Colombia. Eubank, of course, lives in Brighton on the south coast. Well, that's a problem for Alarcon. He's not prepared to commit himself. He almost pulls back the left hand before he even finds the target. Turns his head as well. So he doesn't fancy his chances too much here. So, of course, only had a third of the experience of Eubank. Ronnie Davis, Eubank's trainer of old, keeping a very watchful eye on things outside the ring. This is 1,000 times better than Chris's first comeback fight in Cairo. Well, once again, not too much landed by either man, but most of the positive work there coming from Eubank.
Look at the corner, look at the corner.
Of course, Eubank could outpose the best of them.
Coming home.
Bit of replay then from round 2. Well, left hook then from Alarcon, just catching Eubank on the chin. But he does have a very good chin, doesn't he, Chris Eubank?
Round 4.
So into round 4 then. Once again, a good example of Alarcon refusing to commit himself to the punch, just pulling away before it even lands. Well, he's obviously a counter-puncher, but Eubank, the days of him making a fight are pretty much gone. And of course, it doesn't suit Alarcon to go looking for a fight. So he just wants to try and draw Eubank in, but it's a problem for him. And Eubank is sporting a contemptuous sneer on his face. Well, that's nice work now by Eubank. Good punches there catching the Colombian. No doubt about that. These are good shots, and he's gone over now. So Alarcon hits the deck. And he's all over the place.
6, 7, 8,
And he's,
10.
well, it's all over. Referee Larry O'Connor counts him out at 10. Well, they all seem to be happy with the win. The manner of the win was, well, a bit of a shock to me, I'm afraid. It looked like Alarcon could have got to his feet, but persistently fell over. shouting, Chrissy, Chrissy, give us a wave. So, a successful night's work then for Chris Eubank. That's leg 2 of the comeback over. And there's Bobby Joe Edwards on the right.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes, 36 seconds on that floor, the referee has been counted out to Camilo Alarcon, your winner, Chris Eubank.
So Chris Eubank then declared the winner in round 4 over Camilo Alarcon. I just wonder where he'll surface next. Morocco, possibly. Yes, that was a much better performance by Chris Eubank, I thought. And Alarcon was there to be hit. He got hit. He got hit with some very good punches from Eubank. No doubt about that. You can't be businesslike all the time. And matchmaker Paddy Byrne, I think, has done a pretty good job with that one. So we wait to see where Eubank surfaces next in the Middle East. That's that last finishing flurry of punches. Well, it was a right hand that put pay to Alarcon at the end.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. Thank you for your support. It's very good of you to attend this first of professional boxing contests here in the UAE. I'd like to say for the people who have been so warm to me, namely Sheikh Hamdan Al Maktoum, I'd like to say, Ash had Ana La Ilaha Illa Allah Wa Ashhad La Na Muhammad Rasul Allah.
Well, Chris Eubank, of course, has converted to Islam.
Shukran.
Picking up the language. Yeah, shukran to you as well. So that's the end of our show this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. Of course, we've got more professional boxing on Eurosport next week. Hope you'll join us for that. Thank you very much.